Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to, what does he usually say, this sexually charged evening. I am your host because I now own Alien Addict. Ollie kindly said that he would allow me to put the stuff on Must See Audio, and I've essentially done a hostile takeover. So this is my show now. We're just going to talk about drums. Maybe sometimes we'll talk about drums and wine, but mostly drums. My guest tonight is ex-owner, host of Alien Addict, Mr. Oliver.
Thanks for having me, Lee.
It's no problem. See, I would feel awful to steal your show off you and not allow you to at least guest on it.
Well, there's some semi-truths to that you just said, because we've agreed on a
podcast, baby.
Yeah. So everything from Alien Addict, well, pretty much everything that can be used that is suitable for audio will be going to Must See Audio Spotify, which is in the description, people. So if you can't check out a show, or you get halfway through a live show and you think, I'm going to catch up on that in the week, but you know what? I'm going to be driving the car. I'm going to be driving the car, so I just want to listen to it. It's going to be there.
Yeah,
it's going to be there.
You can get it on all your podcast apps, on Android podcast apps, on your iTunes podcast app.
Am I going to be on iTunes?
It's on all the stuffs.
Oh, mate, what you've just done to my nipples there. I've always wanted to be on an Apple-based product.
Well, yeah. Until they start destroying us and ripping us off everything, we might as well have some fun until
for the podcast. We need to put my logo on. So for the audio purposes, there is my logo.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Well, we've even got our little logo splash screen now, haven't we, for podcasts? That's nice.
We have. I should have got it ready for the show, just to show people what it actually looks like. But I hope everybody's doing well tonight. There is 33 people live.
Is there really?
This. Yes, as we speak, my favorite number. Rich, if you are watching it, we are waiting for you. Mr. GUFON, if somebody, I've tried to ring him. Somebody ring Rich. I'm sure he'll be coming. He's probably fallen asleep on it. He did say, I'm fine for the show, but it was right. It was quite kind of last minute. I prepared the show. I think I was supposed to be going on GUFON on Saturday, but we kind of both forgot about it. And people, even without Rich, the title of tonight's show, What If Paranormal is Normal, has no planning, you know? I just think paranormal's normal. And I thought we could have a conversation about paranormal.
Let's make paranormal. I don't know. This should be a little slogan. I haven't got a slogan for it.
Let's face it, Lee, we'll talk about a load of bollocks tonight.
Let's normalize the abnormal.
Yeah, let's normalize it. QVid, my good friend. I need to get Q on. He's a good man. Well in the know when it.
You can't be saying letters like that on.
I said QVid. QVid. Not Q more. A lot is happening. Speaking of like weird things going on, we will get onto the paranormal people, but Joe Rogan's, they're trying to cancel him.
Been a couple of attempts at trying to cancel old Rogan's, hasn't there?
But it seems to be really ramping up, and without me getting into trouble, I think it's news. We can talk about it.
Yeah, I think the mainstream media are fucking terrified by him. There was probably like this massive sigh of relief when he signed his Spotify deal, because everybody thought, oh well, that's it. You know, that's not Rogan done, but that's certainly him, like, less powerful. He's not as powerful as he used to be, and clearly bullshit, isn't it? You know, he didn't need
That
all the other
man's
platforms.
he fucking small as power. You know, it is sweating out of him power.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely, yeah. It's all that
I
elk
mean,
meat.
there's there's a lot of controversial guests that he has on the show. But I think for anybody that watches some of those guests and say that guy's talking absolute bollocks and there's a reason why he should have been terminated,
Mhm.
is a fool.
Yeah. Of course he is.
You know, there's we spoke about this a couple of times, but don't you think it's strange that he really had his foot in with the UFO community and the alien community, and it feels like he's kind of he mentioned it the other day with one of his guests. I can't remember what he was talking about, but
was it? Yeah, he talked about Bob Lazar, didn't he? The Bob Lazar podcast, because it was oh, it was that comedian I really like. Oh, I forgot his name.
he did mention it,
The
but
big guy.
briefly. Yeah.
Mm.
But he seems to have stepped away from it, and he's like more into now. It feels like the guy's going to be running for president at some point.
I don't think he's daft enough to run for president.
No.
But
who would be? Who would want that fucking job?
The Rock.
Yeah.
I
mean,
absolutely.
no wonder our prime minister's been caught drinking when he shouldn't have been.
Yeah,
if I was prime minister, I would be drinking myself into a slush. Though it is wrong what they did, bell ends, absolute bell ends. When I'm fucking stuck in here with my kids, I can't have a Christmas party, but they all bloody well can.
Yeah,
bastards.
we
not gonna get political.
No. If anybody wants to go over to Musty Audio after this podcast, Ollie guested on my podcast, This Is Cheaper Than Therapy, last night, and we had a big old conversation about the big C, little V, and we had the conversation that we can't have on YouTube without damaging your channel, essentially, didn't we? That's what we did.
We did. I was very, I think I was very honest to my views on things. Yeah. Again, have no idea what I'm talking about, but I think everybody deserves a voice when it comes to these things, because we're all living with it. Lee, back to the actual title in itself. Do you actually, within that title, the paranormal being normal, do you find that you believe in that more and more every day, that the oddities in life are just actually a part of life? And
yeah, I mean, with no real grounding for this, I'm a pretty big believer, because we've talked about like the power of positivity, haven't we, quite a lot on this podcast, especially with Rich, and we've mentioned The Secret before and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I've always had this thing before with sport where somehow you very rarely get whitewashes over the course of a season. You know, like sport creates like drama, and when there's sometimes when you feel it, like you take the last for anyone that's into Formula One's my sport, so that's what I'm gonna liken it to. The last Grand Prix of this year, fucking crazy. Anyone that knows anything about it, I'm maybe there'll be a few American listeners that aren't quite sure what went on, but fuckery ensued essentially. But you knew it was going to happen, and you could feel it even towards the end of that race. And fuckery happened 5 laps before the end of the race, and you could just feel something was going to come. In the same way as like if you watch a football match, and you see a play start to build, and you can feel something's going to come from it. Now, is that you just knowing your sport, or is that literally so many people's attention being focused on one particular thing that human consciousness is having an effect on physical reality, and I'm a big believer in that.
So you put all our minds together. It's almost like one big giant Jedi.
Yeah. In the same
that
way as
can make shit happen.
if you look at the craziness that's gone on in the world, like not just like the last 2 years, but I mean from maybe 2008 forwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you can probably blame, and like a lot of like financial analysts, and people much more intelligent than I am, would probably look back at the 2008 financial crash as essentially leaving some pretty big impacts on people. I think that it's the domino effect of we had smartphones, then really quickly after we got smartphones, we got pretty good internet access on our phones at all times. And then hot on the heels of pretty good internet access, we got social media. And then all of a sudden, everybody was in contact with everybody any one time. And I as good as some of the interactions I have with, mostly to be perfectly honest, mostly since I've been doing podcasts and since like listeners and your viewers have been like get in touch with me, and I always have nice interactions with those. But the amount of negativity that's there, it feels like a online metaverse version, if you like, of the slime underneath New York City in Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
And but so all of this crazy stuff that's happened over the past few years, is that just because we are essentially becoming a nastier species?
I think you may have touched on something there, Lee. So when you talk about when we're all together at a football game or baseball or whatever your sport is, Formula One, there's people coming together and they're watching something very physical, and they're not using their technology unless they're watching it through a television. But they're not they're all together watching one thing, all thinking the same thing, all wanting the same thing. When you bring the internet into it, and like Formula One, for example, I think at some point there'll be no need for the driver. The driver will, at some point, they say, let's just take the driver out of it. We'll make some robot drivers.
Yeah, but no one cares about those because they can't get hurt. The whole point.
They don't now, Lee, but the new generation may care about the robots. The robots robots may become celebrity robots.
That's fair. I could see that as the. Did you ever see that experiment with the? It was like that one. The experiment where they were buzzing each other. Remember that one where they had to give electric shocks? But it
like in
real.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Well, this experiment was done with this big old fucking Pokemon looking fella, like this big computer, and these people went in and they sat down, and they were told that it was a robot that could do basic human interactions. They were told that it was like a highly advanced AI, like it can interact with humans. So it sat down. They did the normal things like using the computer while interacting with this like anthropomorphized robot. And then when the test was over, the control radioed through, and this was the test. And they're right, yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much. You can turn the computer off now. And when they went to turn the computer off, the robot went, "No, Joe, please don't kill me."
Really?
And and then the robot begged for its life. And 95% of the people that did that test left the room without killing the robot. And the test wasn't to do like a human interaction thing. The test was to see how quickly a human being could form a bond with a machine.
But obviously that wasn't real.
It wasn't real. No, it wasn't. Yeah. It was a person. It was a person voicing it behind.
They didn't kill a robot.
People didn't. Yeah. No, the people didn't realize that. And yeah, it might have even been higher. It might have been like 98%. But yeah, it was like a small fraction of the people went, fuck you.
Well,
I just want to fuck you.
Here's my point with what you've just said there, and I didn't even plant this out, but with the development of the internet, and we're going into the metaverse and what have you, maybe people do have that power, that secret, but there may be a plan to get rid of that, and by the World Wide Web and everybody becoming connected in that way, I think that will get rid of that natural sixth sense, the ability to be able to communicate with other people. Not even. I mean, look at twins, for example. But when you put a group of people together at a game that don't even know each other, that can will something to happen.
Yeah.
It might be just the game, it might be just that team is better.
I know exactly what you mean. A plan. I don't think there is a plan as in like a plan that could happen. I think there was a plan that's worked.
Yes.
Everything.
But maybe that's the reason why it is to switch us off to a natural ability.
How do we if you take the stuff we like out, just like, because it's kind of anecdotal, isn't it? That what I like Formula One. You probably like football.
I just like to shoot monsters in games.
My favorite color is green. Your favorite color is red. So these things are all over the place. So that like the static things that are in there are the color of us, whether we're male or female. What our financial status is, like is in the social pecking order, and we've been or what side of the political spectrum we lean on. The humans have been like ripped apart on all of those things now. Like the racism is thrust into everything, even to the point where if you're not racist, it's not enough to be not racist. Now you have to be anti-racist to a certain thing. It's not merely enough to just be accepting of people, because if you're not anti-racist, then you're not accepting the struggle of other races. Gender has been fuck me. If gender was a small room, someone's just chucked a grenade in that and run away. So we're fucking well divided over that. Politics, fuck, there's no. Realistically, most people should exist in the middle ground. But now
I think the word you're looking for, Lee, there is the world is fucking bonkers right now.
Absolutely. And you have to have an opinion that's either all the way over here or all the way over there. You can't just look, I'm just going to stay here and like watch all the fuckery from the sidelines. Thanks very much. I don't believe that's by accident.
No, and for anybody that's watching this, Rich is not here to comment, but I'm definitely one of these people who I sit in the middle and I see both sides of certain things. I don't think any of these people are the bad people. I think the bad people are the people that are the ones that are pushing one of you that way and pushing somebody else that way. Probably your best friend, or you may have fallen out with your mother over it, And there's the problem. We're talking in code, but that's what we have to do. I have no idea why I've got this on my finger, but it feels great.
Only the other day, I know that we're kind of off topic here, but while we're here, only the other day, I had an argument with somebody because there'd been a private conversation I hadn't had. It was somebody I know that I don't even consider a friend, actually. They're an acquaintance, and his best friend, but he was in like a little group chat. Now this guy over here, he's in a reasonably successful band, not a band some people might know them, but not like a chart band yet, but well on the way to get there. And this guy just was in the group chat and accidentally greeted his best mate by saying, "What's up, N-bomb?" Yeah?
Oh my word, yeah.
Thinking he's in a private chat with his mate. He was in the group chat, so one of the people in the group chat screenshotted this and threw this out onto social media. So he was then attacked for being a racist. Now, I'm a one that doesn't believe words have power. I think the meaning behind words have power. And in that situation, if there's no victim, I don't understand how there can be a crime. I'm sure there's going to be people that just disagree with me, but that's where we are. And I had that same reaction to somebody, and somebody called me a racist for not thinking that guy was racist. And that's where the division is, and that's the shit I can't be doing with.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. See, first fight I ever had, this is a true story. First fight I ever had at school, somebody used that exact word at school. And I were at a school where, you know, it was kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
I wasn't brought up that way, and I literally turned round, and this is probably one of the bigger guys. I was a small lad at school, but somebody called somebody that, and it was my friend, and I literally punched him so hard in the face, I think I nearly broke my wrist. And I also got sent home, and my mum and dad were brought into school over it, and I got into trouble for defending the kid. But when you look at things like PewDiePie, do you remember when PewDiePie dropped it in his? He was playing a game and he dropped that dreadful word.
I think so. Yeah.
Then he was called a Nazi and all this stuff. I just think it's one of these things. You'd probably watched too many Denzel Washington films, and it's just been like.
Well, the Nazi thing, the Nazi thing that he got, because I'm not a particularly big PewDiePie fan. I'm not a big guy for game streamers, but I feel really bad for him for the Nazi thing, because he got that because he had a jacket with an iron cross on it.
Yeah,
but it wasn't an iron cross; it's a Finnish clothing range.
And he's blonde hair.
Yeah, but it's a Finnish clothing range, and their military using iron cross as I think it's a medal of honor. If you serve in the Finnish military, you get that. Kimi Räikkönen also got the same thing in Formula One because he served in the Finnish military. He has the Finnish like iron cross on some of his merchandise. So yeah, it was like PewDiePie there got he fucked himself up on his live stream, but the Nazi thing was just people being ignorant, I'm afraid, of other cultures. Oddly, how crazy is that? Calling other people Nazis because you're ignorant of other cultures.
Yeah, I like you said. I mean, we'll get back on topic, but people,
we're probably getting roasted in the comments. We're probably getting roasted alive.
I don't think we are. I've not seen any. Well, I haven't really looked, to be honest with you, because when I'm talking to somebody, guys, I love you all very much, but I struggle to read comments. Lee, do you see the comments? I wonder if there's a way to gift the person that I'm working with to be able to pop them up on the screen.
No, I can pop the YouTube ones up. That's generally what I do. But at the minute, I'm using a 13-inch laptop for streaming until my new shit comes. So the not really got the space for want to see your beautiful face.
You've completely gone away from the whole. I mean, you found my channel originally through UFOs and aliens and what have you.
Yeah.
So were you a big believer?
Yeah. I mean, I've been a big believer from when I was a kid. Like it was one of those things. I was always looking up. You know, whenever I was a child, as soon as I feel that I was interested in it before X-Files. You know, because I think that's why I was so excited for X-Files. I know I used to watch Unsolved Mysteries when I was a kid. I think that would have been before X-Files. But definitely when X-Files came out, that absolutely solidified it in me. I remember having they had like oh, it was like a case book of X-Files stuff. I think I've still got it in my mother's house actually, and it was really cool because it was like X-Files lore, but all the pictures in it were like real UFO cases and stuff like that. That's where I first saw like pictures of from Betty and Barney Hill and the the people that had the burns, the square burn marks
Yeah.
on them and stuff like that, and like mutilated cows. There was loads of mutilated cows in it and stuff like that. But yeah, and then I've got to that point where I think most people sort of got in the mid 2000s where you thought, well, what if they're not from a different planet? What if they're like ultra terrestrial? Like, sorry, as far as like interdimensional, sorry. And then after being on that sort of thing for a while, because my thing about interdimensional stuff is if we can truly traverse dimensions, then I feel we're wasting time trying to leave the planet on rockets. And what we should be trying to do is trying to dimension jump from the planet.
Well, maybe we already are.
Oh yeah, if it's possible, we're doing it. Do you know what I mean? If it is. Wouldn't it be bad though? All these things that we think like are really cool and a bit scary. Wouldn't it be awful if they were all conspiracy nonsense and none of it's real?
Did you ever hear the phone call, which they later said that was just a guy that was
The Area
fooling
51
around?
guy.
Yeah, that rang in on coast
Yeah.
to coast. The
guy that was
was
called back in was
yeah.
absolutely not the same guy that rang back in. I don't believe for 1 second that was the same guy.
I want to bring that up to listen to it live. Because
can we do that now?
Because it sounded terrifying. It
Well, that's the
sounded
thing.
absolutely terrifying.
I haven't done a lot of acting. I've had to do I've tried to do a little bit. It's
Lee,
really
try and find me a
hard.
copyright-free one that don't have any stupidness in it that I can probably use.
You've got more chance of that because you're on air. You've got 2 monitors, mate.
I haven't got 2 monitors.
I thought you used 2 monitors.
This is I do, but it's not connected to this one.
Oh, we need a young Jamie.
I need like a. I should have kept the wife down here.
Dave on the Modern Militia podcast has a young Jamie. He's got a producer. Yeah,
you were on there last night.
I was on there last night.
And that's going to be on YouTube.
Professional outfit. That proper professional outfit. None of this. I didn't have to Google fucking anything last night.
That's seeping into Rogan territory by the looks of it. How much he spent. I see you spent on that. I wonder if he'll. Actually, I won't say that. I won't. No. Yes. Because you may not want me to say that. I think you know what I was going to say.
Yeah. Oh, there's a fucking. Hang on.
I'll whisper it to you.
There's a reaction to it. I wonder if. Oh, fuck off.
No, I don't want the reaction. I want the original.
I was hoping maybe there'd be there'd be a link to the original.
Well, I think the original was on Coast to Coast, wasn't it? So that's and then
I thought
just put it out on YouTube. There's so many people saying, "Well, it's been debunked," but that was good acting. That guy sounded fucking terrified. And the weird thing is, what he's saying in that is, it's not what we think it is. It's not what you think it is. He mentions dimensional in that. I'm sure he talks about dimensions.
Yeah, he does. He says that interdimensional beings, they're not what they appear to be. I remember that part of it.
And that it really stuck with me, that. But then it was like somebody like debunked it and said, well, this was so-and-so. He called him, blah, blah, blah. We ended up chasing it up. But yeah, it didn't sound like the same guy. But But if that was acting, that was Oscar. I'd give that guy an Oscar.
I just when the guy came on, I mean, he just didn't. He didn't sound like the same person. That was my issue with the whole thing. When he came back on to sort of like, which was like the debunk thing, he didn't sound like he was the same person. And I don't know. Maybe that's me just wishful thinking. I've got your link, Ollie.
Send me it on Send me it on Facebook.
I could be young Jamie. I could be young Jamie any day.
Have you sent me it on Facebook?
Okay.
Meta.
Yeah, Metaboot. Meta Messenger. That works actually, doesn't it? Messenger. Sounds German.
I've just sent our Dave a link. If he's about, he can come join. Our Dave. May Dave.
sound like Cilla Black.
Right,
there you go, Ducky.
I've got that. Right. Let's get this up. I've got this. Right, here we go. I'm gonna have to. I will drop this link to this channel in the description, even though it's good. Jesus, it's got millions of views.
Is it? They don't need it. They're fine.
Well, he's not got many subscribers, bless him. But you know, it's all about the view count, people.
Has he got enough subscribers to be monetized? That'd be pretty shit, wouldn't it? If you got over 1 million views and you had like 10 subscribers.
Well, I think he's been monetized for this year because he's got over 1,000 subscribers. The new army is called. I will put the link in the description. This is fair use, and there's so many channels of use this, people. So I will be playing it.
Well, to be fair, it's not his. It's fucking ripped off a radio station.
There you go.
New Army sounds like a good band name.
It does, doesn't it?
I think there's a band called New Model Army.
There we go. Let's have a live listen. I'm sure everybody's heard this before. Live reaction, people. Get on with it. He didn't send him a load of texting before he called.
It would have been before text messages, wouldn't it? As well.
I've got the old school T-shirt on. This is the old design, Lee. The old one. It is.
Fucking hell. You've got all these T-shirts. I still haven't had any merch given to me.
It's crinkled. You be the judge. You be the judge, Lee. Let's judge it.
Line, you're on the air. Hello.
I judge everybody I speak to.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really, really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military. I'm sorry, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharge.
I started getting...
So this is where the radio station goes down, isn't it? The whole station goes off air.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. I know when the guy came on, when Art Bell comes back on,
I put a poll up, Lee, for that one.
What?
I put a poll up.
Did you? What? Whether people think it's real?
I asked the audience. Yeah.
Oh wow. That's
so we'll have a look at that in a moment.
Yeah, but when that guy came back onto Art Bell's show, supposedly that guy, and they just sort of they tried to brush off the fact that the channel went off there. Like, oh, what a fucking mad coincidence that you come on start talking about Area 51, and the whole radio station goes down. Fucking like how does that happen? What's the chances? I mean, to be sorry, just quickly, I suppose you could argue that there's always something going to be on Art Bell's show that if it ever does go down, if the radio station ever does go down, it's going to be someone talking some batshit fucking crazy thing. But for me, fuck, like you have somebody on talking like that, and also at the same time, the radio station goes off air. It's like the fucking the original version of the
I know what you're saying.
Of the 8chan or 4chan alien picture. Like it's at least in that, to be perfectly honest, I think that's got more credence than the 4chan alien picture because it's harder to take.
Way before, way
yeah,
before
but
4chan.
But it's harder to take because don't forget, Coast to Coast is a big radio station. It's a commercial radio station. Yeah, it's a commercial radio station that essentially has to be on air to fucking pay the bills. It's like if they go off air, they've got to explain to the people that would be advertising on that show and paying for that show to be there why it fucking disappeared. Whereas 4chan, I mean, realistically, that could have just been somebody from 4chan having a fucking laugh. Do you know what I mean? Like that could be the same person that had control to just pull that off for a couple of hours. Could have been, or half an hour, could have been the same person that uploaded the picture. But
the thing is, I know what I'm just going to call it. Kivid. I got to say it quite quick, Kivid, because your name is flagged. The first bit of it on YouTube.
He should be anonymous.
It's a good man. It's a good man. But yeah, I know what he's saying because he's you ring in a guy. Let's just before we look at the poll, a guy rings into Area 51, who is, let's face it, he's hysterical, completely hysterical. He has good. He has good content. He's here. He's here. Is the lad. He's in the house. He's had his nap, and he's here. He's had his nap, people, and he's here. He's numbers to go up now.
Hello.
Hi.
I was sleeping.
Ah, you look fresh.
I'm not. I mean, my eyes are still. I put a biscuit in the microwave, and I'm like, oh no! The last time I was up at 10:15. I got dressed to go work out. Next thing I know, it's 5:30 my time.
You put a biscuit in the microwave?
Yes. Yeah, sausage, biscuit, and egg.
What? sausage and a biscuit.
No, it's a bap, isn't it? They
Like a
they
ball?
don't know. They don't know what biscuits are.
Oh, yeah, it's bread,
Yeah,
a biscuit, and then sausage, egg, and cheese. It's a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
So a biscuit in the UK is
an Oreo. An Oreo's a biscuit.
An Oreo's a biscuit.
What's an Oreo? An Oreo's a cookie.
Yeah, but that was that treads the line of a biscuit.
Explain it, Lee. Explain what I thought.
Did you get digestive biscuits?
Explain what I thought.
No.
No, obviously not. I thought he put his sausage inside a cookie.
Cookie? A cookie's an Oreo.
Yeah, that's what I thought you just put in the microwave with the sausage in the middle of it.
Sausage. It's egg, cheese, and sausage inside 2 pieces of bread.
Yeah, well, I thought you had chocolate.
Oh God, no!
And sausage.
Ew, that's not good.
Yeah. That's a biscuit.
I saw you playing the Art Bell thing. Fake.
Okay.
Do you think so?
Well, it's real, but the guy came out and said how he did it, and he cried on air when he called back in like 2 years later or some years later.
I didn't think it sounded like the same guy when he called back in.
Oh yeah, it sounded just like him.
But there's still no sort of reasoning for the whole channel going off the radio station.
I think Art Bell was in on it.
Right, okay. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Don't
but you never know.
Dead, Rich.
Huh?
Speaking ill of the dead there, that he was in on it.
I think he might have been, but that's not Art Bell's MO, so I don't know. But I thought the guy did sound like him when he cried on air. I mean, we all could do it. Lee, you give it a try.
No,
sound like the caller.
No, I couldn't do it.
No.
I'm no actor.
Sorry,
this is me. This is me excited. This is me sad. This is me. Oh, absolutely not. Now, why are you doing that to me for?
I just thought
somebody could be watching this on a big 4K telly, and they've just got nothing but my face on it.
But nobody's actually.
I don't like it.
If you're given a visual impression of what the guy from Art Bell was screaming about, and just I bet you're such a spoilsport, Lee.
That's his O face right there.
No,
too.
You know what, Lee? I think because Rich was late, Rich can do it.
I'm in trouble. Oh, Art Bell.
Wait, no.
I think that sounded like the next word you were going to say was harder.
Here, we're going to try some. We're going to try.
It sounded like I was going there, dude.
Lee, this will be good for the podcast. Lee, you can be Art Bell.
Oh.
I'm just going to be I'll be the crackle. Yeah, okay. So
wait, can you play the clip so I can hear a little? Oh, you have to go through a whole rigmarole.
No. You know what?
All I need is 5 seconds. That's it. I just need to get my ears set to it again.
We're gonna redo it. We're gonna re-put it on.
All right, I want to eat my sausage Oreo.
We need the content.
Don't eat. That man sounded hungry.
Why are they giving me an advert for StreamYard? I've got it. I pay you. Is it not? Do you want me to pay you twice?
What do you mean? Where's the advert?
He's on the YouTubes, isn't he? For the
it might
link.
be.
A professional would have that in his archive, wouldn't they?
A professional would, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I bet you could pull that up in seconds.
Immediately.
Yeah. I had to Google it for him. I'm a guest. I had to Google it for him and send him the link.
You're a professional guest, is what you are.
It's fucking unacceptable, is what it is.
You know who you are? Must see audio.
I am.
I don't share screen now. Oh, there you go. There we go.
What's up, Will Kai? Moonlichting Faden.
There you go. Rich, you be the judge.
All right.
Rich and Lee are going to reenact this, but Rich will do it with his own little twang.
Oh, no, I'm going to be exactly like it.
It needs to be well acted out, this.
I'm going to do it as Al Pacino in Scarface.
I'm actually clicking on the StreamYard play on the screen. What's wrong with me?
I've done that once.
Line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
I a former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and
no shit.
And I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military. I'm sorry, the government knows about them.
I mean, to be fair, there's been no disasters.
I was just going to say that.
In this world that they could
all right, I'm good.
Moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out.
Yeah, I think I've made my mind up about that. Really? Tell you, the poll is nearly 50-50 right now, which is it keeps changing. Right.
There haven't been anything happen what he said. Nothing. It was a lie. Come on, what are the odds?
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
And you're on the air.
Hi, Art. Can you hear me?
Just about. Are you playing with yourself?
I am, Art. I'm running across the country right now, and they're gonna signal in on me. I've only got a minute.
That's great, crazy guy. What color pants are you wearing?
No, this isn't a joke, Art. I'm calling because I'm on the run right now, and the aliens, they're not what you think they are. They're and Art, they're not what they said they were. They're extra biological entities from an earlier precursor of...
Whatever you do, don't hang up. I like it when you cry.
I'm not claiming to be anybody, Art. I'm on the run. They've infiltrated Area 51.
Oh, I didn't.
And disasters are coming, you cock. They want they want to control us.
Oh, everyone likes to be controlled now and again.
This mask is so tight. Can somebody unloosen this mask? Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you all right. I'm nearly there.
They want the nation population centers wiped out. That feels good. Put a little bit to the right. You know what I mean? It's not that hard to
do. How do we get us all back up now? I can't.
Wrong. Right.
Boom.
Oh, that was funny.
I think you made a good point there, Rich. I think the polls just dropped.
Yeah.
My poll didn't. Dun-dun-dun. Ah!
Right, okay, we're going to end the poll there. So
what's the polls?
The poll... Where's my poll gone?
Look
there
down.
We go. Area 51 caller. Real or fake people? Real or fake? Yes, 57% say fake, 42% say no.
Ooh.
And 54 people voted.
Wow.
Out of 87 watching it.
Those other 33 people are in their cars.
Is it 33 people?
Say what?
How many people didn't vote?
Well, they're probably in their cars.
Yeah, but did you say 33?
I did.
Yeah. That's the difference. See, we were talking about this, Lee, before.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's weird.
Well, when the show first started, there were 33 people watching it, Rich.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull that out now. Huh?
To get to 34, you have to go through 33. So maybe you just notice.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I just notice it. That's all. Yeah. I have a birthmark. I'm not going to show it on air, but
what
it's in the shape of 2 3s.
Is it really?
Explain that one.
Is it fucking really?
No, it's just a spot.
Just a spot.
You want to hear something else really weird?
He's got 33 spots.
No. But when I had to think for a second. I do have spots. When I got my dog, it was April 15th, 2004, I believe. That was the first night I saw my UFOs. And when his spots came in, after 6 months, this dog, some of their spots come up later. It was in the shape of the Big Dipper.
No way.
Yeah, I have pictures of it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, space dog.
So they developed over time.
The spots?
Yeah.
Well, that's Jack Russell Terriers and some breeds. Like they're white when you get them, but then when they get older,
I never knew that. I always thought like when a cat or a dog is born, it's markings or it's markings for life.
They're marked, but you just can't see them, I think, and it happens when they go through puberty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Rich, seeing as you've just graced us with your presence,
I don't have presents.
I know. The title of the video, Rich, I did say at the beginning, we'd probably go through a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
But the question is, what if the paranormal is normal? Do you feel like the paranormal is becoming normal to you?
Well, that's one of the trademark sayings of GUFON. The world is more paranormal than normal.
There you go, Rich. I'll send you that £2 from Jennifer.
No, it's all right. I got it already.
That's for your acting. Thank you, Jennifer.
And I know I didn't even have time to warm up and do my vocals or stretch, so you got me raw right out of bed.
You can't have it back. You paid her £2 to send it to you.
Somebody's got pounded.
There's probably a lot of people that would like to get you raw out of bed, though,
Nah, there's nobody. But I do believe the world is more paranormal than normal. Because if you think about it, think about all the people that have been abducted, have seen ghosts, and, all sorts of other things like poltergeists. Hello? You guys heard that too, right?
I did hear that.
And, Michael Franks' birthday's on April 15th. Hey, good for you. So, make it about you, the show, Mike. That's what we're doing here. Make it about you. I'm joking.
At least they're not dropping links, Rich.
Yeah, I know. He's cool. I'm joking, brother. I've been doing this forever, and you think if you meet somebody and if you ask them, do you have paranormal experiences, and they would say, well, I don't, but I know somebody who does. Everybody knows somebody if they don't have anything. It's true. So
I don't think I've ever met anybody who hasn't had a paranormal experience.
I know. Yeah, you've seen it. Lee's seen it. Lee is a ghost.
Pretty much.
No, I'm the ghost. I come and go as I please, right? I mean, what a prick I am.
Every guest and I'm pretty sure it's same for you, Lee, and I'm sure it's same for you, Rich. Every guest I've ever had on, no matter who they are, even Osvaldo Franco, who's very much all about the science. Oz, if you're watching this, we would like to have you back one day, and I hope your mum's doing well.
Oh, what happened to his mom, real quick?
And he just sent me a message a while ago saying his mum was poorly, so we're wishing her good health. But even Oz, being all about the science and what have you, he said it's all a bunch of hoo-ha. The spiritual side of this has had paranormal experiences.
Of course.
So I don't know anybody that I've ever interviewed, even the most skeptical people that I know, have had paranormal experiences. Had weird experiences. So to me, it is just a part of its normality.
It's unexplainable dread that gets me. You know, sometimes where you go into a room or you're in a place, and there's like a empty school building feeling. You know, that sort of thing. It's. I mean, if you look at the fact that our whole fight or flight mechanism is supposed to get us out of trouble, what a design flaw if that can just kick in when there's absolutely no threat around. So what part of us what part of us makes us put ourselves through that amount of stress for no apparent reason, or no reason that we're aware of anymore?
When we talk about evolution as well, and evolution of the evolution, especially of the human race. Well, let's talk about any animal or what have you, anything, any living being. How weird is it that we seem to have this evolutionary trait where we seem to fear things that are in the shadows?
Dogs are a good example here. Dogs and children, maybe especially small children, before they start getting scared of things. But dogs are even better, because like dogs haven't been fed decades of horror films. You know, they haven't been told ghost stories over the years.
Oh yeah,
but you always get those situations where the dog will be looking in the corner of a room at absolutely nothing, growling like fuck for no apparent reason. You know, that's a pure animal instinct. That's a pure animal instinct of, I believe I'm in danger here, so I'm going to make myself seem vicious. See, that doesn't make sense on any way.
That's a good point.
I've got cats, but there's been situations, not so much with these two cats, with the other two cats that passed away that I had before, where they've just been staring at a wall, staring at nothingness, and there's not much that goes on in my house. I see some weird stuff, but it's not. My house is not that. I think
they're called mirrors, Ollie.
Yeah, I think this house is probably about 15 years old, so it's not a house that somebody's died in that I know of or anything like that.
What about the land? It's usually the land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think dogs, cats, animals that people have. I don't know about hamsters and gerbils and that. Definitely not a goldfish. They do, even though they do seem to just stare at walls.
I would watch the fuck out of a History Channel program with a medium goldfish, where they just bring a fishbowl around.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh my god, that'd be the greatest show ever.
But what you need is you get another medium that can speak to the goldfish, and he just like translate.
He has to get in water.
Why do you think we've got that though? Everybody seems to be scared of the dark or what is in the shadows. Is it just because we're scared of what we can't see?
No, it's because we're all brought up on these stories. It goes back all the way to the Indians. They saw, indigenous or land people, whatever you call them nowadays. But land people, who am I? So they talk about the skinwalkers, the hairy man, right? And if you go back further than that, if you want to go back to Atlantis, they talked about all sorts of gods and weird things and things you can't prove. Scary stuff. They're going to come get you in the night while you're sleeping. That's to keep the kids in their beds because the parents want to, boff. So they don't want their kid waking up in the middle of the night watching them boff. That's all that's about. Do I have to explain what boffing is? It's cooking.
No, I kind of made it. Got it.
That's true.
horror.
That's how the story started in the caves. Stop looking. No, look away. Big bear, come get you. And then the parents go make other babies. But the kid stayed in his bed or on his rock because he was scared the bears were going to get him, or the lion, or the cheetah, or the dinosaur. That's when it all started.
I feel in the cave times, it was more of a love the one you're with and whoever's around can watch back then.
Yeah, well, you're right about that. But it did change because of evolution. Or evolution, depends on where you're born.
Thank you, Jennifer. That one's interesting. Has any of you guys ever smell anything?
Yes. Cigarettes.
I can smell two specific. I can't say that word. Scents. Lee, Rich, help me
on
out
a
here.
person. Yeah, she can smell 2 specific scents on a person and know what is wrong. Since childhood, both very sweet smells.
That's cock and balls, people.
Yep, it is. Yeah.
You all do you find that you can also? I know it sounds very morbid, but can you? We tend to smell death on people.
Yes.
If someone's really ill, like somebody has a disease that is gonna.
There's it's a really weird smell. It's it's awful.
Is that not just like because as people get sick,
the medication,
medication, their faculties start leaving them. Let's face it, wouldn't be like unusual for an old person to start smelling piss. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think, but not with the smells. I genuinely believe if I can get close enough to somebody, I can tell whether they're a good person or not. I've always been like, I've a really good judge of character. I joke with people that if I can get me close enough to smell them, and I'll tell you what they're like.
I'm gonna hold up a finger, 1 for yes, 2 for yes, 1 for no, Lee. I'm gonna ask you this question because you're an empath like me. Did you have a very strict upbringing?
No.
You suck. And I had yes. I figured you did because a lot of people who have strict upbringings, you got to be home by this, you got to have dinner at 5, you better do your homework. Those people are real analytical of their parents or their figures in their home, whatever, their guardians, and they try to judge their look on their face when they walk through the door so they know how to act. And that was me. My dad was a cop, and you couldn't tell what mood he'd come home in. Usually generally good. But if the trash was left outside or something was wrong, he walks through the door fast. I knew something was wrong. Or if he just casually opened, hey, everybody, hey, it's a good day. Mm-hmm. You learn that. You learn people's mannerisms, and like I do on the show with micro expressions and mannerisms and all that stuff to tell what kind of person they are, what mood they're in.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that went a long way to get there.
Family-wise was okay. I spent a lot of time alone, and like there was something. Even my dad will say it in a nice way now that like I was an odd child in the way that I was. Even when I was 10, I was like a fucking 16-year-old. And I was always more comfortable speaking to grown-ups than I was children, and I'd go to the pub with my dad when I was sort of 13, 14, and I could just natter away to like 40 and 50-year-olds. And then you go to school, and then you're odd.
Right. Oh, my God. My whole life. Dude, we are a lot alike. I never knew that about you. And that was me, too. My parents always had get-togethers, or we always went to someone's house and where there were adults there all the time. And constantly, or even the bowling alley or whatever, because they were in a bowling league, always talking to adults. I preferred it. But when I got to school, they always called me, you're so weird. You're weird. I'm weird. I think you're freaking weird. I'm normal.
I think it catches up because I think by the time then when you get older, you end up being a really good communicator with people. But that middle bit where you're waiting for everyone else to get to the point where they can communicate with you sucks.
Yeah. And QVid, you're right. I am good at guessing because it is a guessing game. Nobody can be 100%.
Rich, Chaddy Adams, my good friend. He's my good friend. I used to live with him.
Rich
Did you?
Adams, you did?
Oh,
I used to live with Rich Adams, yeah.
Look at you with another Rich.
I tend to. So, Rich, you've just given Lee the finger. Are you going to give him any more fingers? Because I'm liking this guessing game. Have you got another, or one for me?
Nope.
have you got a finger for Ollie?
No, but just
I'm
gotta.
jealous of the finger.
Well, say something interesting.
Jennifer, again, thank you so much. I am a nurse, and Rich, help me out here.
Oh, I am a nurse, and of course, death has a smell, but I'm talking about something different. Brain damage to me smells very strong. Oh, that's weird.
Cock and balls. No.
I spent a lot of time in hospitals and with people who. My granddad was in a home, and I used to, when I went, and I know it's weird because you it's old people, so yes, I mean some old people, they do smell a piss, unfortunately. It's just one of those things that happens when you get older.
Just
sure, when I'm old,
sometimes I do. If I don't wash my house pants enough, sometimes I smell like an old person.
Or a little dribble.
Yeah.
We've all done it. You go to the toilet, you think you're finished. It's a little bit of dribble, but I know exactly what Jennifer's talking about there. It's an odd smell. I don't know about people that have got problems with the brain and what have you, but I honestly think I can smell when somebody's ill. It just has that strangeness to it.
I have very few wishes in the world, but what I now wish that I didn't realize I wished for is that when that horrible day comes and I'm going to pass on into whatever the next realm of existence is, please don't fucking sniff me, people. That's the last thing I want to be thinking of, is like, I'm just waiting to see the fucking light at the end of the tunnel. I'm waiting for my soul to leave my body and hear Ollie coming.
Well, that's where they come up with the term bed of roses. It's true.
I
Explain.
Rich, can you give me? I do want the finger. I want you to. I want the finger. Give me the finger. So I want. What do you get from my childhood then? Because you asked him the question, and I mean, we've been speaking for years.
But that was part of a different conversation, though.
I know it was, but I'm interested. I'm interested now because you got my wife spot on.
I didn't. I didn't get your wife spot on.
You did. Serena said that you got her absolutely to a T. There was a few discrepancies.
She's never been fingered so well.
But what do you get from my
childhood?
Yeah, we spoke for what, 3-4 years now.
Since 2019.
Longer than that. It's longer than 2019.
Do you remember when I bought? Do you remember when I bought the phone? You told me what to buy.
Yeah, but we spoke for probably a year before you got the phone.
So then, early 2019.
I think it's 2018.
Wow, if it is, then I'm sorry, I'm off by a year. Ollie, I just can't come out and do it. It's got to be, and I wasn't doing anything on him. I was just asking him a question. I wasn't doing a reading.
You just said I'm going to put one finger, or two.
Yeah, and I was wrong.
At least you were honest about the finger.
Yeah, well, why lie? There's no reason to lie. The truth is more exciting.
What's happened to Lee?
Yeah, he's going to the bathroom. He dribbled on himself.
It happens.
Hey, real quick. So how you guys feeling over there with the COVID-19? You guys all over that?
Well, we're a little bit pissed off with told Boris Johnson because while we were all in lockdowns, Rich, he decided to have a few parties and get absolutely off his rocker. Well, I'm making that bit up, but I mean, to lock everybody down. I mean, I can't remember the last time I had a Christmas party at work, and our government has still they've given the rules, but they've not complied to the rules themselves.
Right. That's our people too over here.
Absolute dog turds.
Do as I say, not as I do. And
you're talking about the Garden Party, aren't you?
Boris. What a bell end. Boris, if you're watching this, I think you're a bell end. But he's definitely not watching this. So he probably learned something. I'm beyond words. I was on must see audio last night, Rich, on This Is Cheaper Than Therapy, and I was it was nothing to do with aliens. It was me talking about what's going on in our country and what have you. And
I'll have to check it out.
I had a lot of fun just being able to be free and not
free of keywords,
free of
community
keywords.
guideline strikes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But our country is definitely questionable. Let's just say that.
Could be Australia. Jesus.
They want this new world order is what they want. They want to combine. They want to combine and connect the land mass together and have us have no borders. It's ridiculous over here.
Are things bad over there, Rich? With just using keywords?
Yeah. It's pretty bad. They what they're doing is dividing the country, with race and all this crap. Then everything the white people do is bad. And when I walk into a store and I see a fellow person who is of color, they don't look at you anymore. They won't. I mean, they actually look, and when they do look at you, it's real quick. Like they don't want anything to do with. I mean, I used to say hi to everybody. Now I don't say hi to anybody. Standing in line at the bank or at the grocery store, it's just weird. They've done a real good job at dividing everybody.
We were just talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah.
For a long time, it felt like everybody was becoming just all that shit in the past.
Yeah, man.
Where people would see color, see race, see different culture. People had forgotten about it, but it seems to be coming back more than ever now. And I don't want to talk about it because YouTube will fucking have my testicles.
You never know, yeah.
But yeah, people just need to start realizing that every single one of us has 4 fingers and 2 thumbs. We have 2 eyes.
Why is it our channels would get taken down if we did something like
because we're expendable? Simple as that.
Right, but what I was going to say is that, but yet there's channels that are of color orientated. The host is black and everything else, and they're allowed to say the N-word and talk about murder and talk about beating their girlfriends, and people are throwing them money left and right.
I see. Like I say, Rich, I don't want to get into it because it will put the channel in danger. But I think that every single channel should have the same rules, regardless of who you are.
That's the world we live in. Do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Or YouTube should just go back to what it was, why people joined it in the first place, so people could speak their mind. Fair enough. Have guidelines in place to stop people from getting hurt.
For hate speech,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is that sort of stuff, and you see things where it comes like people are discussing possibly hurting somebody else, then that shit needs flagging.
Let me ask you a question. If Lee did an impersonation of me, and it wasn't exact, but he did something and I didn't like it, is that hate speech on YouTube?
See, I think the problem you've got here is, I mean, it wouldn't be hate speech because it seems to be that as long as you're in the same club, you can say what you want. You know, that seems to be the rules now. It's why Ollie only makes jokes about pedophiles.
True.
Everybody hates pedophiles, though. You know,
That's why.
Unless you're a pedophile.
The problem is people feel they have the right not to be offended now, and that's the real issue. Is that nobody has the right not to be offended by someone. You can choose if you engage with something, and realistically, what people should be left with is people should be left to hang on their own words and their own intentions. If you go around being a cock, what will happen is you will have less people to speak to. And that's just the way we should do it. Like, let the market decide who good people are.
Right, of course.
You know, I don't understand why we need so many community guidelines, because these people will always find each other. You know, you'll always get small cells of people that like fucking hate Smurfs. Like, they hate Smurfs. They want to go out. They want to beat them up. They want them eradicated from their country. You'll always get Smurf haters. But the fact is that that's an incredibly small group of people that are that narrow-minded about things.
It's incredibly small, and we're changing the whole world because of 20 people, it seems like.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
Well, we've put virtue in prioritizing minorities over the majority, and as much as I don't think minorities of any sort should be like segregated or judged against because they're minorities, you can't build a lasting, successful society catering to the minority and not the majority. You just can't do it. It doesn't work.
And that's why things will eventually go back to the way they were. That'll snap back.
Yeah.
It will.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
That was a good TED Talk. Even the Queen sat alone when she buried Prince Philip, but Boris went to a party when people in this country couldn't mix with more than one person outside without being prosecuted.
The Queen sat alone because she's a cunt, and it was...
That's definitely going to fuck me in the ass.
It was just a publicity stunt just to get some sort of public emotion behind that horrible fucking witch.
We in America don't know the history of the Queen. I know
Thanks,
you guys.
Yeah,
that was good. What is with this bitch?
YouTube, you can't say. Listen, if
you can say some things.
If what's he called, Lizard Man.
I can fix this for YouTube overlords. I was talking about Queen the band and not Queen the Royal.
Oh, so you're speaking ill of the dead now. He died of AIDS.
I'm homophobic. Shit. You can't do anything now.
It's my favourite band.
Is it?
Not now.
No. I've never been a royalist.
No, I haven't.
I despise having this fucking Hunger Games class above everybody else that literally sit on fucking gold chairs and ride around in carriages
and get protected.
It's the fucking 1600s.
Why can't each of the billionaires, like anybody with more than $10 billion, put $1 billion towards poverty and change the world? You know, they could do it. They could feed and home, and why would they?
Would you?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
The thing is, where would you spend the money? Because this is
I would do it where I want, wherever I want, wherever poverty is, and maybe in America.
I would, but why would they?
The question is, why wouldn't they?
Because they were born, a lot of the millionaires, so they were born into riches already. They had it, you know. So they probably looked down at us as. Yeah. I don't think they look at us as the same species as them. I really don't.
I agree. Absolutely agree. I don't. I think there is not just billionaires. I think this is like high level politicians and royalty as well. And also, don't forget, these are the ones we know as well. These are the people that we hear about all the time. The really rich people, were the ones with real power, We've no idea who they are. You know, the guys that are out living in the Middle East, in these fucking cities, that when you see like a shot of them from above, it looks like somebody's took a picture of like 2065. The cities are so like futuristic, compared to what we think of as like, you know, New York or London or something like that. You know, that's where the money really is, and that's where the power is as well. I do still think the royals have power though, somehow. You know, for some
100%.
reason. Yeah, for some reason, they're more than just figureheads. There is genuine power there.
You mean like they could break columns and punch through doors?
Yeah, fly maybe.
She's cool. If it's true what David Icke says.
Yeah.
I do look at these people like they look at us as a different species though. The high end elite. They look at us.
Maybe they are
something completely different. I mean, maybe they are if the conspiracies are right. But...
No, not even on the Ike thing. Maybe they protect bloodlines so much, then that they clearly believe that if you're willing to go out of your way to arrange X amount of marriages to the point where you've got, you know, a direct descendant from fucking president to president, and then they've got direct relations with like the Queen of England, like connected to a Bush somewhere or an Obama or something. If you've tailored your bloodline so impeccably, then that means you think there is something dirty about the other bloodlines. That's why you wouldn't want somebody to marry into it.
What would happen to? I mean, so America's not got a queen, a king. I mean, one might say they have a. They may look at as our queen as a queen, the original OQ.
Yeah, I mean we're not the only country with a monarchy, but
no, but do you think a country is better off without it?
I think it's the same. But the only difference why I think it might be worse with a monarchy as to without one is that it's essentially you're still going to have the same bullshit running the country. You know, it's the same, the same like self-centered, for want of better words, agenda pushers. I don't know if there's an agenda. There's probably is an agenda. There's always an agenda. You're still going to have the same thing being pushed forward. But the problem I have with the monarchy is it's just this thing that sort of sits there, like for seemingly no apparent reason. People try and pretend that the Queen is some little lovely old lady that just lives in a big house down the road, and now and again she talks on Christmas Day, and she'll like now and again go out to like a public engagement, and nobody asks why. Nobody says, well, why are we doing this? And then when you do come across a real royalist, say, oh yeah, but they bring an awful lot of money to the UK. They bring an awful lot of money to the UK. Fuck you. Fuck that. Nobody comes to the UK because the Queen lived here. Nobody. I mean, you've got the what?
Rich would. That'd be his number one reason.
What's that?
Right? Do you know what would bring people to the UK is get rid of the fuckers and open all of their estates as heritage sites, so you can go and walk around Buckingham Palace. Then it's a fucking theme park. Then people will come.
If you build it, he will come.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Of Kevin Costner Field of Dreams? That's a brilliant
film. The fucking Royals. Kevin Costner is a dream.
Where is he now? Dancing with Wolves, probably.
Yeah, my sister married Kevin Costner.
Your sister's married Kevin Costner.
Looks just like the dude.
Oh,
it's crazy.
He's a handsome guy.
I got so excited for a split second then.
Oh, that would have been the best.
I could have got my Robin Hood DVD signed.
So the Queen has the power to sack the PM, Boris.
Does she?
Does she have the power to sack the Prime Minister? Because if you do, my Queen,
Yeah, I think she
please
can
do so.
interject. Yeah, she can definitely interject.
And thank you for the super chat, Ben. By the way, from Yorkshire.
She's too busy knighting war criminals at the minute.
Well, yeah.
She sounds nicer than Biden, that's for sure.
I mean, she can speak better, and
Biden's not royal.
To the best of my knowledge,
it's a royal bell end.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, she's never shit herself in public. Yeah.
Right, or farted, or yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She has. It just smells like roses.
Yeah, well, I mean, if regardless of your stature, you know, if you're royal, if you're prime minister, whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure Boris has dropped one, you know, a speech at some point, or Biden, or you know, Trump definitely with that face, that little.
Do you know if you were to walk down, you know, a central corridor where many people are in the city, half of those people are farting as they're walking,
letting the spirit out.
Yeah.
We need to get back on track. We've become very political on this channel. It's very strange.
Yeah,
I enjoy farting in a pub when it's really, really busy and blaming somebody else.
Walking away.
No. You stay in it. Like walk away. It's too obvious. And then you just sort of look at who you're with, and then look at someone else. And go, fucking hell.
Dirty bastard.
Enjoy that game.
That's what you say to your mate. The dirty bastard. I feel like in the States, farting's not a big thing, is it? I think it's UK humor. Is it UK humor?
It's guy humor.
Is it frowned upon?
It's not that it's frowned upon. No, not really. I don't know. I stay away from people who like fart jokes and shit like that. I can't stand it. That's like sorority dudes or sorority girls, and you know, that kind of. It reminds me of that kind of activity.
Your ex-president had a flatulent name.
Bush?
No, Trump.
Yeah, that's a flatulent name?
Trump, yeah, you know.
Never heard of that. That it being a fart.
Yeah, that's what we call it over here.
Oh.
A Trump.
Yeah. My son calls them Trumps all the time.
So does mine.
Well, he'll be president in 2024.
That's what
you think?
Said that?
Huh?
My friend run me
last night, didn't
my friend run me as well and said this.
He will be.
You said it.
And it's going to be Hillary's going to run against him again. I just found out.
Hillary versus Clinton. Trump season 2.
Yep.
Oh God, not that again.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen. You'll see. Mark my words.
Do you think Baldwin's going to be playing Trump again?
Do you know what the shit thing is, right? If it didn't have real world consequences, I would fucking love to see it.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
No, I'm really serious. There's nobody else that could run for Republican that would win. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there is, but Trump's it. He made this country. He made everything run smoothly. Jennifer Siami, 2 pounds.
2 pounds, thank you.
No,
I don't know if she's defending.
I think she's saying
pooping about farting. No, she does. It not that it. No, wait, what? No, she does.
No, but it's excused.
I think she's talking about sacking Boris, isn't it?
Oh,
I'm not sure. Jennifer, put another $5 down and tell us what's going on.
No, don't, Jennifer.
I'm joking. Don't, Jennifer.
I'm
joking.
That, Jennifer.
She's sweet. She's so nice.
Awesome.
You have no idea.
Interview on the show. Great interview as well. Worked for Stephen Greer briefly. I do think though that little bell end that is running. I don't know about your man. I know a lot of the people I speak to don't like your man, Rich. But I don't want to stay too much on politics here, but because we've kind of gone down a tangent. But it seems to fit in with the UFO field these days for some strange reason.
Politics has seeped into everything, doesn't it? That's
politics, yeah.
I mean, you keep hearing that though in the UFO field
because I keep saying it. Yeah, I keep saying
it. You've invented it, Rich.
No, I didn't. But it's true. It seeped in, and these people. I mean, the thing is, they support literal balloons, planes. They support that without knowing anything about it. And then Mick West comes in and debunks it, and they hate his guts. And Mick West is, I just proved to you that that is not a tic-tac. That guy is getting attacked like more than me. I've never seen it. The guy doesn't do anything wrong.
Do you like Mick West?
I love Mick West. Yeah, why wouldn't I?
He does.
What is he doing wrong?
He seems like a lovely bloke as well, doesn't he? He genuinely seems like a nice person.
Why?
He was a games developer, I think, originally, was he? Was he not?
Yeah.
I believe I read that somewhere. I'm sure he worked for like a big games company at one point. That's where
that would explain maybe why I knew who he was before the UFO stuff.
Yeah, I could be wrong on that
me
one,
too, Lee.
I think he was in the gaming industry.
Well, whatever it was, he knows his shit, and
but he does. He doesn't admit when he gets it wrong.
Yes, he does. He admits it, but he's never wrong.
Does he really? When
he has admitted it before.
When?
Well, with the gimbal, he questioned one of the things, and then he heard this other guy saying, and he goes, "Okay, maybe if I worded it differently, I could have said that better." Yeah, that kind of thing. But he really wasn't wrong.
He hung on to the bird theory with the gimbal for an awful long time, and that didn't seem to make any sense.
Why? Not the gimbal. He did that with the Tic Tac.
Sorry, yeah, the Tic Tac, yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. Go fast.
Yeah.
The thing at the water, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bird.
You think? I don't think it was bird.
It was bird. It was parallax. It was the plane or whatever recording it going one way, it going another way. It made it look twice as fast than it really was.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it's a whole to-do. But come on, guys. Do you really think that the government's going to show us real UFO video?
No, absolutely not. I'm interested to know why it's happening. That's the bigger question for me.
Because it's a cover-up. It's disinfo.
Yeah.
There's something else technologically wrong. I think our adversaries, China, Russia, whatever, has this technology. Like, I'll say it again. I said it on my show. I don't know if I ever said it here, but DJI, the drone company, sold us a lot of drones. And we found out that they were hacking those drones that they sold our military and getting secret information from the drones, where we're going, secret locations, all things they're doing with these drones, because they made the software so they could hack it. And they hacked in. That's why we ended the contract with DJI, our government did. And yeah, man, I think they advanced past where they needed to go and past us technologically.
So you own a DJI. Is some of the software on that obsolete now?
Not my drone. No, not my drone. Military drones. Right. They made the big military drones for them, not the consumer ones. But I'm sure they probably did do something with them. I don't know, and I don't care.
But would the consumer ones not be a danger?
No. Who cares? We're in consumer world. We're not at Area 51 or know what I mean.
So there's certain places you're allowed to go with that drone.
Yeah, anywhere outside.
Happen?
Pardon?
What would happen if you took that drone in an area where you were forbidden to fly it?
Well, DJI is a little different. Because I have a bigger drone, it weighs over 250 grams. So I have to sign up with the FAA and get a number, They give my own ID for my drone. When I fly it, if they know it's me, they could not hack, but they can go into the FAA, see everywhere I've flown, see all the pictures I took. They can have access to that. I give them access. Now, if I go near a military installation or a place I shouldn't be, my drone shouldn't be flying. It probably won't even lift off.
Oh, right. See, that's again. Would it actually not work?
Right. It shouldn't work. But people who are flying certain drones, they're not DJI drones, and they don't have to get.
Have you tried it?
Yes. And it's weird.
Did he fly?
It only went up 98 feet, and I could only go backwards. And I could only go 100 feet away and 100 feet up, and then I couldn't go anywhere else. Yeah, it boxed me in.
Wow.
It's wild. If you go like within 5 miles of a major airport, same thing happens.
Which I understand. You don't want to be flying one of them things into the engine.
Yeah. Well, airplanes usually. Go ahead.
So I was just going to say, now imagine if you've got a fucking Neuralink in your head.
I know.
With that same fucking area blocking sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Your head would be spinning.
That's a fucking ladies' changing room again. Get out.
See, that's what I don't like about that.
Yeah. Transhumanism must be like one of the most terrifying things, if not the most terrifying possible outcome for humanity. And not only is it a possible outcome for humanity, it's probably probable. There's some good English for you.
Well, look at Meta. I mean, we were gonna on your show last night, Lee. We didn't get time.
Yeah, we just got the tip in, didn't we? Got the tip in on that.
We got the tip in on that, but that Meta is scary. A lot of people are excited about it, but I don't think people realize how people laugh at it now. People look at it as in excitement. There's some people going, "Oh, this could be a bad thing." That little twat's got a lot to answer for, and he's going to do a lot.
It's not him though, is it? It's not.
Who
fucking
is it?
Zucks. It's. I mean, even Facebook itself was fucking backed by the CIA. There's more to Facebook than just like an entrepreneur that fucked over his friends and took control of something. I genuinely think the future, what we will see, we are young enough to see this, will be some sort of collapse to the point where people run out of jobs. We end up not particularly like there'll be food shortages, so we end up on the plant-based fucking essentially like protein gels and stuff like that given to us.
Crickets.
We will be not. There will be reasons for us not to want to go outside anymore, and at that point, the metaverse will be there for us all to stick the helmets on, and we can interact with each other in there, and then that will slowly. What will happen is that will then develop to where our children will grow up, and because they're so used to just living life in the metaverse anyway, why would they need houses? Why would they need cars? So that's when you get those big sort of mega city tower blocks that we see in sci-fi dystopian movies, where you're essentially your house is a studio apartment with a kitchen and a living room, and you will sit in whatever your VR box is, and then from on high, we will still have our elite ruling classes living exactly how they do now, as we are plugged in, doing whatever it is that keeps fucking our brains working.
Do you guys remember Missile Command? The game with the ball?
Yes.
I do. Rich, can I just say just a quick one? Because a couple of people have mentioned they've been censored in the chat. I'm not censoring anybody. I don't think my mods are either. So if your comments are appearing, that's...
Can I say something to that?
That's God doing that.
No.
It's not me.
Lee, whatever your name is, Ali. They need to get off the top chat and go to live chat, because they're only seeing the top chatters instead of the live chatters.
Okay, how's that? I don't understand the whole
In the
thing.
chat room, if you look at your chat, you go to the top and it says top chat, live chat. If you click on live chat, you see everybody. If you click on top chat, you only see people who multiple chat.
Yeah, QVid, I am not censoring you, my darling. Love you to pieces. I have no idea.
Well, I just told him what to do. That'll help him. I see what he's saying. I see everything. Don't you? Don't you see what he's saying?
What Ollie's trying to say is if you want
he thought he was being
if you want to be
censored,
seen, Ollie needs paid for your content.
No, I don't
to be
need.
seen.
No, I definitely don't need paying. I don't need paying. I just, but when somebody says they're being censored, I don't censor nobody. You can say what you like on my channel as long as you're not being racist or being homophobic
Smurfist.
or being smurfist. Definitely not smurfist. You're welcome on the channel as long as you're not doing any of those things. I don't care. Or speaking ill about the Greys because I love them little bastards. Whoa, Rich, that was a good smoke. Jesus. Wow.
Oh, next time you do that, you need like entrance music.
I should start every show like that.
I mean, as much as when we talk about stuff like meta, when it comes to UFO channels, paranormal, and people go, why are you talking about that? Because this is going to be a big part of our lives. You, Rich, you could be running your channel in 2 years' time within a metaverse. There could be, you could be literally engaging with your audience in VR.
Yeah, well, this is why it's going to happen, and this is the thing is because they're going to incentivize it. At first, it's going to be awesome, especially for creators, and that's one of the reasons I think. But this is one of the reasons why I think there has been such a push to make everybody a creator. It's like literally everybody does something now. Whether they post on Instagram and take their Instagram too seriously, maybe they do TikToks. There has been easier ways to become creators. It doesn't have to be putting like all the effort in to make big YouTube videos anymore. It doesn't need to be like taking all the time to do like podcasts. There are simpler ways to essentially get the same feeling of like making something. And if you can then do that in the VR space, you've instant access to everybody in a physical form, and that's the difference. Like we would be doing this show, for instance, in VR, sat around a big table, and we'd for shits and giggles, we'd have definitely used the Joe Rogan room to do this show from. That's the bit I like. That's the bit
what's coming.
Yeah, but that's the bit I think there's such huge opportunities to do things that are really good, but the thing you got to remember is the fucking shit that's going to come down the pipe after it.
Like what?
Essentially, us adapting life to where we exist mostly online.
Right, and that's where we're heading, and that's going to be very bad for the human species.
Yes,
because
I agree.
Well, that was my point about the ball, that video game ball. We're going to have to stand on a ball. Unless you're sitting in your house, you're going to get weak. You're you're not going to have any energy. You're going to have no muscle tone. You're never going to see the sun. They're going to have to make a ball and in a little circle that would look like furniture, and you could run around on the ball at least and do things, and that ball will turn wherever you walk.
So what you're saying, what will probably happen to is we won't be going outside anymore. So evolution will kick in. Probably lose the pigmentation in our skin. Probably go like a grey color. We won't be using our muscles, so we'll become really skinny and gaunt. We won't have a lot of muscle mass.
Most people will, yeah.
And we'll just be essentially interacting with each other like with thought. So the only thing we'll be exercising is our brains. So maybe our heads might get bigger as well.
Sounds like a gray alien to me.
Does, doesn't it?
Yep. 1,000 years from now, 20,000 years, who knows?
But
that
zipping back just to see what the world was like.
Yeah, maybe. But I like using virtual reality. I have that Oculus thing, and when I take it off, I'm a little taken down. It's like, wow, that was so real. Like I didn't want to leave it. Like when I box, I'm in the ring. You see people in the audience. You see the referee. I mean, it's really, you don't feel anything though, but it sounds like you're there and feels like you are working out. Even when you climb a mountain in that game, I look down, I get dizzy.
Yeah. And it's realistically, although the Oculus Quest is good, it's using a Snapdragon CPU from a Android mobile phone.
Oh wow, is it really?
Yeah. It's it's essentially it's a good thing for a wireless thing, but it's a crude way of doing it now. The Meta just unveiled the prototypes for haptic gloves for the metaverse, so you can touch and feel things.
Yeah, I heard about that. Even smells now they're coming out with.
What do you think the negative with all this is?
We just went over it.
Lack of human interaction.
But what's the end game here? You know, the massive worry. Forget and lack of human interaction. Yeah, but what is the overall the finisher there? Is it that we just become fatigued and we just can't do shit? We're gonna have to rely on drugs to keep our bodies functional because we could become that addicted to this type of stuff, or
yeah. And what's going to happen is, just like we had this big thing with race and the violence and all that, and now it's snapping back to where it was because people realized it was ridiculous. Well, that's what's going to happen with this. People are probably going to die. They're going to become drug addicts and be working at home, I think. Or they're going to be eating themselves to death because they don't move and they just sit there and have Uber, foods bring everything over. And then that's what's going to happen. People are going to start getting sick. They're not going to have an immune system because they don't interact. I think that's what's going to happen. And then eventually they'll figure out a way to make it much better. Probably 30 years away from that.
I think it's less than that. I think...
No, I mean from bouncing back. I think we're only 10 years away, maybe 5.
Yeah, I think 10 years. I think 10 years and... there will be something very close. I saw in the Consumer Electronics Expo that just happened, PlayStation unveiled the PSVR 2, so the new headset for the PlayStation 5. That thing is fucking wild for a console thing, because like PSVR was a bit rough around the edges, the resolution was low, but that for something that you can use, which is going to be plugged into a games console that anyone, well, when you can buy them like readily, anyone can buy for sort of £500, I think it is, something like that, $499 something, and then but that product will probably be around the like £150 mark, I'd have thought, for that. But the screen resolution and stuff like that is higher resolution than the top Valve Index VR headset. When that headset comes out, it will be the most advanced VR headset that we have to offer, and it's going to be a consumer product that you can just plug into a console rather than having to plug it into a $5,000 PC, to really run VR well.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's gonna become so accessible so quickly.
I would want that.
Oh no, I want it as well. And this is one of the horrible things. I've always been a real one for tech. I've always been like a bit of a futurist, and I grew up watching Star Trek. Like most people grow up watching Star Trek, and I find that idea very romantic. But the problem is that the older I get, is I see the danger with it now, and that's the difference.
Just a quick one to the chat. I don't know what's going on. I think like a little bit of I only see certain things. I think it's a dyslexic. I'm going to blame it on the dyslexic, but I can't see every single chat that's going on. I just see something's going on, and like I trust my mods, the good mods, and if somebody gets timed out, then I don't know why. But at the end of the day, mods, I trust you, and Q, I love you, mate. I don't know what you did, but I'm sure you and the mods can sort it out. So just chill, people. So that's that said. Thank you, Lavera. That is a very nice name, and that is a $10 super chat with a thank you. I don't know what the thanking is. I think they're thanking us for just being spiffing fellas. Thank you.
Yeah, Ollie, check your private chat.
Oh, okay. Okay, so something's going on. While I'm checking it, you two have the conversation so that we don't get dead air, because it might take me a while to read it.
Yeah.
How do we shut Ollie's channel down? What do we talk about?
Well, we could talk about what another thing that's going to happen if that's true. Pardon?
So I was just going to add with that, Rich. Yeah. So mods, I love you to pieces, and you look after the channel, but don't block people for having an opinion. If someone's got an opinion, if someone wants to call me a dickhead, let them call me a dickhead. If someone calls me a dickhead in the chat, I'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah, and they're probably if someone's calling Ollie a dickhead, he's probably the most sane person in the chat, so just leave him alone.
It tells you who blocked you. It tells you who put you in timeout. Why is this so difficult?
Because I concentrate on you guys, Rich.
No, I know that. You can scroll back and check. There's no minimum. You can go back as far as whatever.
Right. Okay. But I mean, at the end of the day, let's just have some fun, people. In the chat. Just. We're never going to agree on everything. Jesus Christ, we believe in aliens and UFOs and ghosts and all sorts of bullshit. We'll never get on, ever. But let's just try. You know? We're all human. Well, I was last time I looked.
What were you saying, Rich?
I don't.
He was talking about Meta. He was talking about the new VR that he wants to get his hands on.
Well, I was going to say nobody's going to be outside looking for UFOs anymore. That's
nobody's going to be looking up out there because they're going to be looking in.
Yeah, I know. See, it's going to be.
A thing. Oh, sorry.
I'm done. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, before you came on, we were talking about it as well, about the like groupthink affecting like physical world. You know, like we talk about The Secret and things like that, and the
75.
What happens to the physical world if humans stop engaging with it? If consciousness has a real effect on physical reality, if we stop engaging with physical life, what happens to it?
It might improve, mate.
Do you think?
Might repair itself. I don't know.
Not sure.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. That's a really good question, though.
I think things would carry on going because we'd have the robots to do the mess that we're doing out there.
Yeah, but
robots
what if
would be doing that?
What if simply the fact that humans interact? Let's say we all live in, like Ike's thing of we're all living like we're all having a simultaneous experience that we're all creating from our own consciousness. If our consciousness is taken away from the lived experience and put somewhere else, what happens to the lived experience? It's that thing, isn't it? You know, that if you like Schrodinger's cat, you know, if you're not looking in the box, is there anything in the box?
Yeah, right.
I think what would happen, Lee, is we and a prime example of that is lockdowns. I think we'd start to go a little bit crazy, but I think you would become happy.
I don't think you're getting me here. Like, it could actually have a negative effect. Not just our consciousness, but the fabric of reality.
Yeah. So you mean what's going on in the outside world itself?
Yeah, but
the everyday running of the planet.
But no, not the running of it. The actual fabric of what our reality is. If we're not paying it attention, and there is part of reality that's created through human consciousness engaging with it. If human consciousness doesn't engage with reality anymore, what happens to reality?
But it's going to change it and make things happen in that virtual world is what's going to happen. So whatever you're thinking, you can only change your universe. If I think, I want Ollie to be better, like, you know, people say you pray for somebody, all those good vibes go that person's way. Maybe, yeah. I mean, there's been science on that, and and that's a possibility. But that's how it works with the law of attraction as well. So it only changes your reality. It can't change somebody else's. I misspoke. So it doesn't work that way with the law of attraction. So Yeah, so if you're thinking and you're playing your virtual headset every day for a month, Lee wants to know, how does that change outside? How does that change the essence of the world we live in? Well, it really doesn't, but it does. I know what you're saying. It's a very philosophical question.
For one person to do it, it would have no effect.
Right.
Yeah. If everybody is doing it, that's the thing.
Like 1 billion people were doing it. Because it takes, right? Doesn't it take like 15% or 18% of the world to change the meta makeup?
Yeah.
Or
well,
something.
Here's the thing here. We've got what? Well, it was 100, but it's dropped to 90, probably because of the little arguments there. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it's also coming at top of the hour. Next show's coming up.
But anyway, if you've got 100 people watching a show, there's probably a few of those people that are doing something else at the same time, and I do that sometimes. I may watch 2 shows at once. Yeah. I may watch something on Netflix while I'm watching a live show in the background, or somebody may be playing a game of Fortnite or something like that.
Yeah.
Right now, as they're doing this, how much of that is how much they're going to be multitasking in different.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be doing, like, they're going to be gaming and watching live shows. It's going to be insane.
Oh, that's meta. Fuck. There's going to be people inside metaverse on their couch watching Netflix, playing a game.
Yeah.
People in a game watching a show, playing a game. Inception as fuck.
How can you watch something and play at the same time? You can only do one thing, or
no, but if you're in the metaverse, yeah, and people's attention spans are still going to be the same. Mm-hmm. So let's say you're in the metaverse watching a film in your little meta house, and then you'll have your little meta phone that you're still playing your games on while meta Netflix is on.
I don't see how you could see outside the virtual reality headset, though. I don't get it.
Oh you wouldn't. You'll be in the virtual reality world, yeah. So in the virtual reality world, you're watching a film.
Oh, I see.
And then you get bored of watching the film in the virtual reality world, so you pick your virtual phone up and you start playing a game on your virtual phone. That's crazy in my head.
But the worry with this is exactly what you just said. That how much is this going to affect people? How much is it going to? The social interaction already now, I think, has probably gone from being 100%. I would say it's 50. It's halved already. I mean, you look at how many kids now, and especially through the lockdowns, what's happened. I've seen my little boy. Okay, he got sent a Switch from his grandma through the first lockdown. And in some ways, that Nintendo console was a godsend, because it meant that I could get on with the everyday chores, and he would play a bit of Mario, okay? But when he wants to play that Switch over drawing a picture at 6-year-old, or playing with some Lego, and I've got him a lot of Lego, and I'm having to say, look, there's no Switch tonight, mate. Tonight we're doing a bit of Lego, or we're gonna draw a picture, or we're gonna read a book. And he's like, oh no, rather you see that addiction there just from a tablet or a Nintendo or an Xbox or what have you. That addiction is gonna go through the fucking roof when you get a proper ecosystem attached to your face, because that's what it'll be. It will be an ecosystem. You're gonna have your own. You're gonna be in your own entire world. I mean,
it's not even going to be a world.
Let's be honest.
It's going to be different worlds.
Let's be honest. In order for this channel to survive, in order for your channel to survive, Lee, in order for your channel to survive, Rich, we'll have to
adapt. Yeah,
we'll have to take it on board. We'll sign up to the devil. We'll be doing it. We'll probably be interacting in VR in our channels with the audience in probably the next 5 to 6 years. And for anybody that says that's not going to happen, it's going to happen.
I think it'll definitely happen. Look how quickly, you look how quickly Twitch took over. You know, from Twitch becoming a thing where game streaming started to take off, and then all of a sudden you had, I mean, that happened in the generation of a console of of PlayStation 4 allowing you to stream to Twitch from your console, and Xbox allowing you to stream to Twitch. Everybody became a game streamer.
I did one. I streamed a VR of me going to the moon.
You streamed yourself playing Alien as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a VR one as well. I was
cool.
actually in VR going to the moon. I did the full moon mission, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, fake moon mission, much like the actual astronauts.
But it's only going to get worse, and everybody's excited for it, and they will. And when it hits, don't get me wrong. I think even I will get it on, and I'll be like, "This is amazing." Being able to interact like this is fantastic. But what this will do to human beings, it's going to be the next evolution of how we run our everyday lives. It's going to be huge, and people do not realize how much of an impact this is going to. It's going to make on the planet. I mean, it could be like Rich just said earlier, when it could be a great thing for the environment. It could mean that, you know, a lot of the pollution and travel to work, this, that, and the other may become halved for some companies. But I mean, we're still going to need the people that in the supermarkets or out.
I think the problem is that there's a massive chance that the people behind this are not what you'd call the greatest of people. I think that's the real problem. I think there's a genuine possibility that the people behind this have some very, very strange ideas about the world and some very, very strange religious practices. Maybe
they feel like that's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
so maybe they don't actually realize that what they're doing is wrong.
Maybe they're Thanos.
Yeah, you know? I gotta say something here. I gotta get going because I'm on a show in 45 minutes called Beyond the Tinfoil Hat, and then I have to do my show right after. So I'm gonna grab something to eat.
Who's Beyond the Tinfoil Hat, Rich?
Ryan Stacy.
That rings a bell. Beyond the Tinfoil Hat.
Yep.
Is it a new channel? Is it?
Not really.
You're not thinking of Sam Tripoli's Tinfoil Hat podcast, are you?
Nope, it's Beyond. I'm looking right at it.
No, sorry, not you, Ollie.
Oh.
Because Tinfoil Hat's a huge podcast.
It's kind of a new channel. It's got 1,500 subscribers, but the channel's been around since 2018. But he's just now starting the show off, and anyway, I'm going on it. So,
mate, Rich, it's fine. We've been going for 2 hours now.
Yeah.
And we've got on Meta. I wanted to do an entire show on Meta, to be honest with you, because I do think it's a big deal, and I think people won't realize it till it's literally on their face.
Well, the best way to think of it before Rich has to go is
Rich, you get ready for the show.
I gotta get going, guys. I'll see you guys. Thanks, Ollie. Sorry I was late.
I'll see you next time, mate.
Love you.
All right. See you, Lee.
Bye.
Bye.
I loved our role play.
Yeah, I did too. As a matter of fact, I'm still feeling it. See you later. Bye now.
That needs replaying.
Don't forget, GUFON tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern.
It's all up here.
We're a little later tonight. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Grazie.
I think it's going to be the same for likes of yourself and myself. We are like the sort of last generation that straddled internet, non-internet. You know, we were old enough. We were old enough to remember the world before internet and before like instant communication with your friends. Now, anyone that's 16 or maybe even a little bit younger than that, but when you're around that sort of adolescent age, in within the next 10 years of them becoming like 26, they're going to straddle the what the world life before meta and life after meta. You know, we've had two huge shifts: mobile phones and the internet, that are pretty closely coupled, to be perfectly honest, because without the internet, a phone is literally just a phone. So it's really the internet. The internet is our big social disruptor. But yeah, like the metaverse thing, I always thought, I think I said this to you last night, didn't I? I always thought it was going to be AR. That was sort of the thing that really changed things and mixed things up. But it seems that we're going to skip AR and go straight to making everything electronic.
That's interesting you say that, though. Life after meta, what would that look like? I mean, I
think it's going to be very lonely. I think it's going to be full of mental health problems.
I do. I honestly do. This sounds so hypocritical of me saying this, because I run a YouTube channel, you know, and I watch a lot of YouTube channels. I love YouTube in general. I like doing it. I every now and again I'll game my tits off, you know, play a bit of Fallout or what have you, the classic ones. But I know it's an addiction. I know that is an addiction. I know there's technology has an addiction.
I'm addicted to Twitter.
When you get that new phone, or when you get that new piece of tech, there's an excitement there, isn't there?
Yeah, you get a dopamine hit. You get a dopamine hit from making a purchase. I bought a laptop today. I can't stop watching good reviews about it.
In meta, you are going to be able to buy a car.
Yeah.
You will literally, with real money, you are going to be able to buy yourself a Tesla, whatever. Well, you can make your own car. You can already
buy property. You can already buy property in different metaverses, which will essentially be conjoined with this new metaverse. And you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars for virtual land.
For virtual shit.
Yeah. I mean, but we're accustomed to this.
I know it's a completely different channel, but that's what's wrong with the gaming industry. You've got stuff like Fortnite and all these these things that have destroyed classic gaming. And I'm a classic gamer. I like it.
Yeah. But I did it. Like when I had my Xbox 360 and I had my little avatar. No, remember you had your little man?
Yeah, I bought some shit. I've got an alien avatar.
I was so excited when I saw I could get my little guy a fucking Soundgarden t-shirt. So excited.
But when you're pulling up in a Porsche outside, outside your mansion, and it's in a VR,
it's going to be in it. It's our life and status is going to be
champagne taste with Lamborghini buckets.
But it's going to be what DLC you can buy for your avatar is going to dictate how cool you look in the metaverse.
Here's the thing, though, and I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but you always hear and I'm not going to get into it, but you always hear about the population control. This sort of this conspiracy that comes up a lot. If there's one thing that could control population, that's getting people to stop actually having physical sex.
Yeah, I mean, see, I've got an issue with population control, is because I believe that people that want control want to control something. So the idea of population control doesn't jive with that. Why would you want power if you didn't have it to wield over anybody?
Here's the thing: you need human beings to run things, or do you?
No, I know. I don't think you do, but I think if you let's just say, right, spitball.
Let's just say less is more.
Yeah, let's just say you take out all of the useless eaters. Let's use those words. So we are all gone. We get sucked up in a big vacuum cleaner and shot off into the sun. No more Lee, no more Ollie, no more excellent YouTube content. But the thing is, then you're left with Musk and Gates and co on Earth. They're now normal humans because they're just the humans. They don't want to be normal humans. If we're not here being scum, they're not special, and they want to be special. So that's why I don't agree. I think population control, as in control over the population, that's something that's very attractive to them. But population control, as in numbers, I simply don't fucking believe in. I think we're much more likely to get ourselves into a situation where they actually want to cram more of us into smaller spaces. So we're just all in little rooms with our little fucking headsets on.
Thing is, mate, though, nobody realizes when it comes to this meta, they the people that I speak to seem it'll never happen. They honestly seem to think it will never happen.
Anybody.
They don't envision the holodeck from Star Trek. They don't,
Yeah.
and I do.
Yeah,
I really do.
I do, but the only difference between the holodeck and from Starship and what we're going to get is, I think we're going to skip that because that would be incredibly resource heavy and incredibly difficult to do. Whereas it sounds like it's going to be easier just to beam it directly into your head.
Can you imagine if? Yes, I've got an Airfix model of the Starship Enterprise. It's not the original though. It's the I thought it was when I ordered it, but I'm going to build it for my little boy and stick it to his ceiling.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to get some LEDs in it as well.
Nobody.
But
asked.
Anyway, can
Nobody
you
asked you
but
this.
my point is, can you imagine if all these fuckers on the holodeck, can you imagine if every single bastard in this craft was just on the holodeck?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't last long. Just like our planet. Just like our planet. Every motherfucker is going to be in VR.
Right.
Shit's going to get
Shit's
missed.
Gonna get... No, right. Could you imagine the look what porn has become online, right?
Use a code word for that.
Sexy times?
Fanny.
Okay.
In America, it's bottom, so it's fine.
But look what's happened to that online. We've gone from when we were younger to finding like a magazine somewhere, or maybe somebody got brave enough, slipped one into a newspaper and walked out of a newspaper shop with it. And it was just pictures. And then there was videos that maybe we got passed around at school, and it was kind of the 80s things that had horrible music. It had really weird storylines, but they were just having sex on cameras. Yeah, they were just having sex on cameras. Now you can go onto those things and you can see people having sex with animals. You can see people battering each other, like no matter what your fetish is.
Insane. It's insane.
It's fucking there.
And I know where you're going with this VR.
Imagine what happens when the debauchery has no consequence. There's no consequence because there's no infections to worry about. There's no real pain to worry about.
Nobody should be offended because it's not real. It's not a real person.
It's not a real person. So all of a sudden, you've got little short avatars. You've got really sickly, skinny avatars. You've got massive, big, huge, wouldn't really be able to walk avatars. Everybody indulging in their sickest, sordest fantasies. That to me,
not jobs,
sounds like hell. Genuinely sounds like if you imagine peering through the gates of hell and seeing all like demons having sordid sex with each other or killing each other, like I say, because it doesn't have to stop with sex. This is like the darkest, deepest, blackest parts of the human soul laid bare.
This is the thing, Lee, and for anybody who's in the chat, anybody's watching this show now that's made it this far, be wary of this. it sounds fantastic. It sounds exciting. And it probably will look amazing. It probably will be amazing just to go in. And will I enjoy it? 100%.
Probably. Will we spill spunk? Definitely.
How much damage it will do to humanity?
I won't damage it. I'll destroy it. Humanity will
I
cease
already
to be
think
humanity.
Facebook has done so much damage. My wife would beg to differ because my wife's from Ecuador and she hadn't. But she came to England when she was 15 years old. She's 38 now, and her father's passed away. But
I'm so happy that your next words weren't. She came to England when she was 15, 6 months ago.
But she met she got back in touch with her father that she kind of lost touch with through Facebook. My auntie, my auntie's daughter got put up for adoption because my auntie did have a child when she was very young, and my grandma and granddad, they lived in Zambia at the time, and he was working out there, and there was so much going on, and they couldn't look after another child, so they put she got put up for adoption, and she got in touch with my cousin, who we now see all the time through Facebook. A lot of good has happened through Facebook, but there's been so much. I think it's got so much to answer for. But this, how do you even get that happy medium with Facebook, with Meta? Sorry, that's what it is. How do you can't. But
no, you can't.
I'm hoping that Meta's going to be baby steps. I'm hoping that what they're going to do with that company is they're going to be so careful to what they're doing and look at the risks of what it may do to humanity. Because I think it's going to make us not human anymore. We will become the aliens to each other. I think it will. It might become to a point where you might meet a friend in the street, and you may get that social anxiety because you're not comfortable seeing an actual real human being. You're only
I don't think there'll be any outside interactions to have. I mean, you might have the awkward delivery of whatever food you need or something like that, but
let's face it, that'll come on a drone, it'll come on a robot. The cars can drive themselves. The factories can be run by robots. Elon Musk's already making his robot. How many of these robots are going to replace normal everyday life?
Makes you wonder what use we are in there.
Well, we will be. Our jobs will be in the metaverse. That's probably how it's going to be.
Why?
They've already said you can create your own shop.
Yeah, that's fine. But you're what you're doing is you're essentially just selling fucking art you're making at that point, aren't you?
I guarantee you. And I'm sorry, I've got to run a channel. So my merch, if you want a real T-shirt, guys, go head over to Teespring in the links below. Get a proper design, proper T-shirt, proper mug, proper Bob Lazari Element 115 T-shirt with the AA on the back of it. Sorry, Lee, I had to do that. But okay. I guarantee you, if this metaverse comes, I'll still want to run Alien on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll make virtual T-shirts.
But I tell you what, the content will have to change because you won't be talking about aliens anymore.
Well, probably not.
But I mean,
I'll be scared to talk about the metaverse being a problem.
Well, no, that would be the thing, wouldn't it? The
unsubscribe people.
The conspiracy theory then would be that the metaverse is sentient.
And it probably will be at some point.
There'll be a ghost in the machine type of conspiracy theory about it. I think it's terrifying. But I don't. People would have to make some sort of I mean, I suppose the only thing that could stop it is some sort of global cataclysm. Like, we talk about solar flares, that sort of stuff, something that just wiped out tech centers back to the Stone Age. It's the only thing that can stop this happening.
Sometimes it might be nice, just to.
But what if it's just the West that do this? This is the other thing. The Chinese aren't going to jump into the metaverse because they limit fucking video game time for each other. Do you know what I mean?
Well, when I went to China, I did go in and I sampled 5G VR gaming in China. Videos on the channel. If anybody wants to see. I actually went live on the Great Wall of China, and got signal. Even though I wasn't allowed to legally use YouTube in China, I still did. But I still used WhatsApp over there. I had to use WeChat when I was over there. But the 5G VR was insane. The accuracy to. I got that made me get a VR. I don't have it anymore, but I had a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I bought the VR headset. I think it was about 2 years after being there and playing around with this demo 5G VR, where we stood in a circle in this building that I won't mention what building it was. But it was insanely good. I mean, it was a zombie game. There was you could see your partner in this room, but the accuracy of this and the way it pinpointed stuff, and it was next level. But this was back in 2017, and it was like nothing I'd ever. There's no VR I've seen. I got rid of my PlayStation about 6 months ago or so. I wanted to get a PlayStation 5. Couldn't get one. Sold it, thought I could get one. Can't get one. I wouldn't have played it anyway. I mainly use it as DVD player. But that technology I saw back in 2017 outdid anything I've seen now.
Yeah.
Anything that I've really seen on YouTube, actually, when I've seen people playing VR stuff, the only thing I could compare it to is what I've seen. The demo stuff, the concept art of what they showed on Meta.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. But on that note, Lee, we have been going 2.5 hours. I'd love to speak. I could just speak about the future of technology, the future of what's to come all night long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming. There's nothing can stop it, nothing can control it.
You just gotta like it or lump it, and if you lump it, then you just get a load of books, people. It's coming. At
least we'll be able to have a virtual cuddle.
Yeah, there is that. If I can feel the cuddle, that'll be a bonus. Said bonus, not.
Oh, you'll feel that cuddle.
Lee, before we get off tonight, let people know what's happening, where they can find you, my friend.
You can find my stuff on the links that are in the description to this show that Ollie has kindly put down the bottom. If you can't be bothered clicking a link and going through the links to find your particular podcast platform of choice, you can simply just open your podcast platform of choice and search for Must See Audio, and that'll bring my podcast up. The last podcast that went live a couple of hours ago, just before we started this, Ollie came on as a guest on my show last night, and we talked about all the stuff you can't talk about on YouTube because you get broken for it.
This
we
could
had
break me actually.
I think you'd be okay with this one. Worse things have been said. But yeah, no, we had a really good podcast last night. I think that might be one of my favorite. I think it is my favorite. This is Cheaper Than Therapy podcast because it's the first one I've done with somebody else. Usually just me doing a monologue. Other than that, I do have a YouTube channel, but I use it seldomly. But you might as well go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You're on YouTube. Look for Must See Audio. There's funny stuff there. There's some funny reaction videos. There's some bits of me playing drums.
And
That's about it.
And Lee is awesome on drums, by the way. Probably one of the best drummers that I've ever had a beer with.
Probably. How many drummers have you ever had a beer with?
Not many, mate, but you're a good drummer. Thank you, Uber Bob. Uber Bob. I'm sure Bob had a different name at the beginning of this show. Was it not Bob? Bob.
Boop it up, bop, boo, bop. Skip it up, bop, boo, bop. Boop it up, bop, boo. Hey, yeah.
Don't know the words. Just know they were a bunch of little shits with a bit of a talent. I thought they'd be the next Jackson 5. Yeah. Oh, we got another one. Super sticker there. Thank you, Lavera. With a $5 super sticker with just. Oh, she sent me a pear. Or is it an avocado? It's an avocado. I think I love avocados with a bit of salt. Guys, everybody in the chat, I love you very much. All the support, the thumbs up, even the people arguing with each other, just let's make friends, you know. And my beautiful moderators, love you to pieces. Everybody does a great job. Lee, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Make sure you go check out Lee's channel. The links are in the description below. Go give him your support. Episodes of Alien Addict will be on Spotify, iTunes, everything courtesy of Lee here, because he does a lot of work on this show. Let's face it, Lee, you've become like a permanent fixture.
Yeah, like a worn couch.
Yeah. Let's just say you're always on my mind. Good night, God bless people. Mind the bugs don't bite. I'm Alien Addict. This is Must See Audio.